Hi, uh, welcome friends. So today the topic is about digital payment and payment frauds. What I'm going to discuss and share today is how the fraudsters are trying to do crime with your OTPs that you receive on your mobile phone. So first and foremost, please note that there is no scheme of government for doing any EMI extension using OTP or other verification online. In the last 1 week, there are a lot of cases where fraudsters have called users saying that you have an existing loan, your EMI will be postponed, and you will have to verify the same by giving the OTP. And in fact, when the OTP is shared, the transaction happens and the money gets deducted from the account. So there is no scheme by bank or government which helps you extend your EMI without any interest for the next few days due to lockdown. So please ensure that you do not share OTP at any cost to anyone who imposes or impersonates to be a banker, because no bank will ask you OTP information. Similarly, if you have 10 tickets which you have booked during this lockdown to fly or travel through train, IRCTC or the airline authorities have not done any program launch which helps you to reschedule your tickets with the OTP. So kindly refrain yourself from doing that, because day before yesterday one doctor from Bangalore was stuck in Haridwar. Welcome friends. So today he got stuck at Haridwar, and what has happened is, hello, yeah, so he got stuck at Haridwar, and he received a call that your train is rescheduling and IRCT is helping you to reschedule by sharing your OTP, and you will have to download one application. So this doctor who was not aware of it downloaded the application, which was a software which allows your phone to be controlled by others. And after installing the software, the OTPs were read by the fraudster, and then there were transactions of 4,000, 5,000, and series of transactions happened. And the problem was the doctor had given the UPI ID. Now UPI basically is a new payment mechanism which is by offered by NPCI, and all banks are enrolled with that. For UPI banking, you will have to have your mobile number registered with the bank where you have account. Once your account is having mobile banking registration, then you can set up UPI. UPI is a very secure system. It cannot be compromised, it cannot be hacked. Only the issue of collect payment mechanism is being exploited by fraudsters. So I will explain you both the procedures. So coming back to the case, what happened? The application was downloaded. The fraudster used the app, and the money got transferred. Now he was in Haridwar. He resides in Bangalore. He could not get the FIR registered in Haridwar because he stays in Bangalore, and then he had to block all his bank accounts so that no further money gets misused. And he's already stuck in a place where he's not residing. And on top of it, he's victimized because of this OTP sharing app. So that's how lethal this could be. First and foremost, do not download softwares like AnyDesk, TeamViewer, Quick Support, because these applications allow your phone to be controlled by other person. Only if you are aware that the phone has some troubleshooting, or if your relatives or family and friends are using it, be cautious of using these softwares, because these softwares are very dangerous. The entire phone mirror is in the person's hand who you give the access to. So kindly ensure that you do not give this access to or don't download this application. And if you download, after the work is done, kindly delete the same, because these applications allow you to read the screen, whatever you type on the phone, whatever screen you see, that is available on the other side. So do not download this software at any cost. Even if somebody says it's a new application, you will get update, we will do remote support, please avoid downloading the softwares. I will write the names of the softwares so that you are aware and you do not download this softwares on your phone. uh, so AnyDesk is not supposed to be downloaded, TeamViewer is not supposed to be downloaded, Quick Support is not supposed to be downloaded. Second, you can use any banking application, they are as secure as any system in the world. The only thing is you have to follow certain basic hygiene. Firstly, about UPI. So UPI stands for Unified Payment Interface. It is a system offered by NPCI, which all banks are member banks are participant. Suppose I have a account in 5 banks, and I don't want to download 5 banking applications in my mobile phone because of space or other constraints. So I can download one of the UPI app and link all my 5 bank accounts with the same UPI application. So UPI helps you to reduce downloading of applications. It is a secure way of transferring money and receiving money. There are two types of options which UPI gives you. One is uh, pay money or send money, and second is receive money or collect money. Now, pay or send means when you want to pay to somebody, you will have to know the VPA, that is virtual payment address of the person to whom you are sending the money. In normal course, what we do is we type the account number or the IFSC code, and then we do the transfer. But with the help of UPI, you don't have to remember the bank account number and the IFSC code, because they are numbers and numbers are too difficult to remember. But you can easily remember the name, like ABC at UPI is a virtual payment address, ABC at OK Axis, ABC at ICICI Bank, ABC at HDFC Bank. So whichever bank account you have, whichever application you download and you register for UPI, you will get the VPA using that particular application. Now this application can have cross banking linkage also. That means I have account in say SBI, I have account in ICICI, I have account in Central Bank of India, and I download the application of ICICI Bank. So I create a UPI which is ABC at ICICI Bank for my UPI payment receiving and sending, but I can link the SBI bank account with this ICICI address, or I can link the Central Bank of India account with this address. So it gives you that flexibility to download one application and link multiple banks. So this makes it more complex and more difficult for person to understand the usage. If you are not aware of how you use it, uh, it may not be advisable. So you should know what is the application, how it is offering you the net banking platform, how you can send money, how you can receive money. Now, to configure and register for UPI, you will have to download the application. Then the mobile number which is registered to the banking account needs to be present in the phone. The SIM card has to be there. If it is a dual SIM card phone, then you will get an option to select the SIM which is registered with your bank. Once you select, then you will be asked to choose the bank where you have account. Once you choose the bank and your mobile number is checked, then what if you have 3 accounts in the same bank, all the 3 accounts will be displayed. Then you have to select one of the banks that you want to use for UPI payment. Once you select that, then you will be asked debit card number, which is the last 6 digit and the expiry. Then you receive a OTP to register it, and then you will be asked to set a UPI pin. So the registration procedure is 5 step process. It is not something which is inbuilt or anybody can compromise your credentials and do this. So your debit card is required, OTP is required, the SIM card which is registered with the net banking is required. So all this helps you register for UPI. Once you register and you set up the UPI pin, then you are ready to do any transaction. So first we see how we will send money. To send the money, you have to know the VPA, that is the virtual payment address of the other party. ABC at ICICI wants to transfer money to PQR at Axis Bank. So once I know the PQR at Axis is the handle of the person, he can link any of his bank account in that particular VPA, that is virtual payment address. So I select the VPA, then there is an option which comes in your UPI application which says verify. Once you do that, the name of that account holder gets displayed. So if it is a joint account, the first holder name will be displayed. If it is a single account, the single person name, like I write my name Vicky Shah or Vicky D Shah, my initial or my full name, then whatever is there in my saving account, that particular name will be reflected when the VPA is selected. Then I ensure that it is correct, then I select the amount. So now there is a limit of UPI transaction. Earlier is used to allow up to 1 lakh rupee, but now up to 20,000, 25,000, depending on your bank what is the limit set, they allow you to transfer this amount using UPI. So I select say amount 5,000 rupees. Once I select amount 5,000 rupees, and then it will ask me to enter my UPI pin. After entering UPI pin, the money gets transferred. So first I will require the application, that is the net banking UPI pin, to log into the application, then selecting the recipient of the money, then UPI pin, and then the transfer happens. So there is a two-step password already there. If this software like AnyDesk or TeamViewer are installed, then the entire transaction what you do on your phone can be visible by the person on the other side, and he will know your pin of UPI. So knowing the pin of UPI, there are payment links which are pre-configured by certain payment gateways and platforms, which allows you to have a pre-approved payment link. So once you give your UPI pin and the handle, whichever account is linked with that, on clicking the link, the money gets deducted. So you should be very cautious about clicking the link or giving the UPI pin. Second option is collect money. Now suppose is a, why this collect system was developed. Say for example, I'm a landlord and I have tenants and they forget to pay me on time the rent. So by using this mechanism of collect, every first of the month I will remind them that I have to collect the rent from you, and I will select my UPI application, get the UPI of the tenant who is there with me, select his handle, which is ABC at ICICI. 5,000 rupees per month is the rent, so that he will get a reminder in his phone that okay, he has to pay me the rent. Then he will have to click on the link. After clicking on the link, he will have to open the UPI application where his UPI is configured. Then he will get an option of approve and reject. So still the person has the chance to either approve the transaction or reject the transaction. If he recognizes the transaction to be genuine, he can click on approve. Then he will be asked his UPI pin. Once he enters UPI pin, then the money comes to me. So even if the fraudster manages to get the collect request, he will not get the money immediately. There is an option of approving or rejecting the collect request by the user. But people get confused about collect and they fell prey to this. So fraudster will call you and say sir अभी हम आपको collect request भेजते हैं, that means आप हमसे collect कर रहे हो, but actually it is opposite. They are collecting money from you. They are not you are not collecting money from them. So this feature of collect or receive payment is exploited by fraudsters to do the UPI related fraud. Otherwise the frauds are not possible in UPI. It is the most secure and safe way to do transactions. uh, Apart from UPI, NEFT, RTGS, all are secured mechanisms, secured channels. So banking system is definitely dependent on the mobile phones. The issue happens is your documents which you are giving to various agencies like LIC agent for the LIC policy, for insurance, for health, for telecom, for banking, credit card, SIM cards. So all these document that you give, you should do a attestation on the document that this document is given to the agency, whichever agency it is, on the date and the time, the purpose for which you are giving the document, and sign it. And you can do a cross pen signature on the entire photocopy. It should be on a photocopy such that the photocopy cannot be misused by the entity who receives this document. Once you do this, then the chances of somebody getting this document and misusing it or stealing your identity gets reduced. There is an option of SIM swap or mobile SIM frauds. Now, mobile SIM frauds happen when somebody gets a KYC document of the user. They go to the gallery, Airtel, Vodafone, or Jio, wherever it is. They give the documents and then they issue the SIM card of the same number, and then they do fraud. However, from July 2018, the TRAI has put a mechanism where the OTP will not be received, any OTP, for first 24 hours when you change your SIM card. So if you get a new SIM card, if you reissue the SIM card, for the first 24 hours you will not receive the OTP, even if it is a genuine OTP to do a transaction. So that is a mechanism to control the fraud, even if somebody by mistake somebody's SIM card gets compromised. So you should always ensure that your phone network is there. If some phone network is not available for maybe half an hour to 1 hour, try to restart the phone or put the phone in the airplane mode and restart it. If still some problem, try to do a call from some of your relatives number to your own number. And if still the phone doesn't ring, then you need to visit the gallery, because that is the only way you will get to know that the network of the phone disappears. plus SMS alerts. You have to very focusedly read the SMSs. Typically this SIM change SMS you receive is after 10:30 in the night, between 10:30 to morning 4 o'clock. When you are asleep, fraudsters will target you because they've already taken the details. Sometimes they also tell you that we have given you a 3G 4G upgrade scheme. Once you give us the SIM card number which is there on your back of the SIM card, 19 digit, your SIM card will become 4G and you will get extra GB of internet and speed. So people even fall prey to this. They give that 19 digit number. Once the 19 digit number is gone, the fraudster is actually doing the same SIM swap. He sends an SMS that old 19 digit number of the SIM card is this, the new number is so and so, and then he will again call you and say कि आपको अभी एक SMS आएगा. You will have to reply to that SMS by putting one. The moment you read one, within 20 minutes your SIM card which is there in your phone gets deactivated, and the SIM card which is there with the fraudster gets activated. So that's how the SIM swap happens. And then also they can do fraud because SIM mobile is linked with your all profiles of Facebook, your banking accounts, everywhere the same number is there. So that is, your mobile becomes a key for each and everything today. So you have to protect your mobile phone at any cost. That's why I always suggest that you should have two phone numbers. One which is with your bank should be separate. One which is with for the leisure and other purpose should be separate. They should not be matched so that the transactions are secure. Nothing happens to that SIM card. But unfortunately, nobody wants to carry two phones, or they will have two SIM cards in the same phone. So even if there is a backup SIM card and the phone goes, both the SIM card goes. So it depends on how and what you want to do, how you want to reduce your risk. Accordingly you can strategize whether you want to use one phone, two phone, uh, depending on it. But ideally I use two phones with two different SIM cards, independent of each other, just as a backup mechanism, so that nothing goes wrong, and if it goes, there is another phone to control it in the given case. So we discussed the UPI fraud, we discussed the banking fraud. Now we will talk about debit card and credit card. Debit cards are directly linked with your saving account, and each debit card is having certain limits based on the type of account you have. So if I have a pro account category, then my withdrawal limit would be 1 lakh rupee and above. If I have a basic classic account category, it would be 20,000, 50,000, or below that. So always ensure that you have a bank account which has only 50,000 rupees or 25,000, whichever is the minimum according to your usage, monthly usage, and that bank has the debit card, so that whenever you do a transaction, only the risk is that 25 or 50,000. If you are not comfortable using credit card because of default or interest or other concerns, then debit card can be used. You have a bank, have a account, minimum balance account with a bank. Only put transaction amount in it when you want to do a transaction. When the transaction is done, then let the minimum balance be there so that there is no risk of money getting lost. I prefer to use credit card, and I suggest people to use credit card because credit cards gives you 45 days of credit. It allows you to ensure that the online transaction security is there. Debit card, once the money goes, it is difficult for it to come back till the entire chargeback dispute mechanism is not followed. And also the debit card is linked to your account balance. So once the balance goes, to recover that amount, it takes a lot of pain, even legal procedural aspects also. Credit card is that way safer and easier to use. There is no money which is directly lost from you. Only your credit limit gets compromised for that point in time till the dispute gets settled. So that is how you can reduce your usage. uh, Debit card, as far as possible, do not use at petrol pumps, do not use at hotels, do not use outside where people have access and you don't have the you cannot see it clearly how they are swiping it, because it could be cloned, it could be compromised. Always use debit card for only and only cash withdrawal, and in the case of emergency. Otherwise avoid using debit cards. Credit cards can be used. Again, in credit card, I prefer to have two credit cards, one with a lower limit, one with a higher limit. The lower limit can be used in petrol pumps, hotels, around 20, 30, 40, 50,000 limit, and more than that you can use it for your online safety. Only use one particular machine of your maybe house or office or your personal computer or mobile to use this banking softwares, because you don't know who is putting what software and what details are getting compromised. So credit card is also If used wisely, it is the best tool and safe tool. There is a new option called prepaid card, which is like a prepaid mobile phone. You can have a prepaid card from the bank issued, put it like a 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 rupees limit in that. So once you want to swipe something, use that card, money will be deducted from the 20,000. If you want to withdraw cash also, you can do that, provided you get the card from the bank. So it can use as your debit card, ATM card also, and that is a safer card because your limit is fixed. Your risk is reduced from 10, whatever amount is there in your account, to the 20,000 rupees. And once this amount gets zero, you can again go to the bank and refill it, or you can even refill it from your home net banking also if the card is linked to your account. So if you are not savvy, tech savvy, and you don't want to use Paytm, phone pay, UPI, then you can use a prepaid card, which is still a better option. uh, Now we speak about Paytm frauds and Paytm, because most of them accept Paytm payments, and Paytm did a great job when demonetization was there. It allowed people to use digital channels. Now there's a new kind of a fraud which happens on Paytm. By the way, RBI has issued a circular in earlier this year in January, where minimum KYC. So for up to 20,000 of rupees, you do not require any KYC, but you get a call from a fraudster that we will upgrade your KYC to 1 lakh limit. Kindly give your OTP which you receive. And what they do, they will put some fake document which they have received, maybe Aadhaar card or license or whatever, through various channels, and they will make your number KYC, full KYC compliant with other person's document using the OTP, and then the fraud happens.